spooky it really is. A special episode. It's our haunted Halloween episode. We're going to visit a lot of shops and historic places in New York City that are haunted. Right now we're at the St. Mark Church in the Bowery, and it's located at 2nd Avenue in the corner of 10th Street. And it was built in 1799 for Peter Stuyvesant, who was the Director General of Amsterdam. Before New York became New York, it was a Dutch colony. And he built this church, and he's resting here along with 7 generations of his family. And Peter Stuyvesant is said to haunt this place, and that you can hear his click, click, click of his peg leg and cane that he walked with along the bricks. So we're gonna go check it out. The over life-size marble sculptures of Native Americans entitled Aspiration and Inspiration were acquired by the church in 1920 and are among the last works by sculptor Solon Berglund, whose brother was the famous sculptor of Mount Rushmore. And this is Peter Stuyvesant, the man himself. And this is where his family vault is located. He died at age 80, which was incredible. La Serena Mexican folk art is celebrating 20 years at this location, right off 2nd Avenue on East 3rd Street. And of course, they have all things related to Mexican folk art, but it's a really great place to shop for Halloween costumes as well. And so we're gonna go in and check it out.
So I'm Dina Lior, and this is La Sirena Mexican folk art. So we have the luchador masks, which people love. We have capes. Do you want me to show you a few things?
Yes, that would be lovely.
We also celebrate Dia de los Muertos, which is a Mexican holiday. So people come for their altar pieces. These are paper mache masks. We have mariachi hats. Some people, La Catrina is the Oaxacan Day of the Dead person, and people like to dress up like her for Halloween and for Day of the Dead. And these are by a woman's collective in Chiapas. Oh, look at these great maracas. These come from Guanajuato.
Oh, they are wonderful. Oh yeah, give it a shake.
Woo! Things from all over Mexico. I travel to like little pueblitos in the mountains. So we get things from many different regions. Oh, so this is one of my coolest pieces. I love this guy.
Oh, wow.
And then these are a lot of our little figurines that people will put on altars. It's a little dark over here. I don't know if it'll show for you.
Oh yeah, no, I got it.
Okay, cool. I mean, look at this punk rock guy and the woman musician.
Of course. Oh yeah, let's highlight him.
Isn't he cool?
He is great.
This is La Catrina, the one I was talking about.
Right, right.
And then we have the flower halos that people love putting in their hair.
Oh, that's beautiful too.
Yeah, look at these couple just...
This is a treasure trove. It really is.
Thank you. I always say thank you to the artisans.
Yes.
And look at these. This just arrived from Guanajuato. This little couple. Look at this guy. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Good to see you, my friend. For your Chihuahua, boy and girl.
Oh, that's so, you even have pet costumes available.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, let me get her.
Todo corazón.
Oh, that's amazing.
So good to see you. What a nice surprise to have you drop in.
So look what we got at La Serena. We'll be all set for Halloween as well. Il Bucco on Bond Street between Bowery and Lafayette was once home to Edgar Allan Poe, who lived on the second floor. The 200-year-old cellar, which is now used as a private dining room, is known to be the source of inspiration for his story, The Cask of Amontillado, and it's supposed to be haunted. It is said that this basement, used by Il Bucco as a private dining room and wine cellar, was the inspiration for the setting of A Cask of Amontillado, the tale of revenge where the narrator entombs his nemesis in the walls of a wine cellar alive. In Poe's day, the building was a tavern and a famous hangout for artists, writers, and poets, and Edgar Allan Poe was a frequent patron. Is located on 2nd Avenue by East 7th Street, was founded in 1972 by Miriam Enns, and it specializes in like 1950s era film noir clothing. And she has a lot of vintage clothing. I'm going to go inside and check it out because it's a great place to get some Halloween costumes and otherwise just go in and shop for really cool clothes. And the owner designs a lot of the dresses and other things that are for sale here herself. She picks out the material and has a seamstress sew it. She was pointing out this lovely skirt. Oh, this is the Elvis top that she created, and she's famous for this one. Has the lovely fringes. So awesome. See, that's her own label, Enns' label. Favorite. No, you had yours. The Merchant House Museum on East 4th Street between Bowery and Lafayette is one of the city's most haunted spots. It's a National Historic Landmark, and it was built in the 1830s, and it was inhabited by the Treadwell family starting in 1835 for nearly 100 years. And the family's haunted presence can be felt inside the home. We're gonna go inside and see how spooky it really is. The Merchant's House is among the remaining 19th century buildings in this historic area and opened as a museum in 1936, complete with its original furnishings and Treadwell family belongings. Some say the Treadwell family, in particular Gertrude Treadwell, who was born in an upstairs bedroom in 1840, haunts the house. Gertrude never married and lived her entire life in the house until she died at the age of 93. Since her death, strange and inexplicable happenings have been reported by staff, volunteers, and visitors, including eerie sounds, sights, and smells. You can see for yourself at one of their spirited October events, including the Death and Mourning exhibition of Seabury Treadwell, the wealthy merchant who died upstairs and whose family held his funeral in the parlor. The original mourning attire and accessories are on display.
We were really drawn to the coffin that was right in the center of the parlor.
Admission to the museum is $15 and $10 for students and seniors. They also offer monthly candlelight ghost tours from January through June, and even private candlelight ghost tours. If you have an experience at the house, they encourage you to share it with them.
Was kind of spooky in there.
It was spooky. New York City's Marble Cemetery, located on East 2nd Street between 1st and 2nd Avenue, is the actual second oldest cemetery, non-sectarian, in New York. It was built in 1831, a year after the first one, which is just down the block. And they have underground vaults. This is New York Marble Cemetery, founded in 1830 and located 1 block west off of 2nd Avenue, which, unlike the New York City Marble Cemetery, has no monuments or markers indicating the placement of the vaults. Instead, they're indicated on marble tablets embedded in the surrounding walls. We also visited Abracadabra NYC, because Halloween is one of their busiest times of the year. We first visited it on our Nomad and Flatiron tour, so be sure to check it out in the link. This iconic costume and magic superstore on West 21st Street near 5th Avenue has been in business since 1997 and has 3 floors full of costumes, masks, wigs, interactive props, novelties, and a large makeup section. Abracadabra carries about 25,000 different packaged costumes, masks, and accessories, and their rental department downstairs has 12,000 costume rentals.
Hudson really liked the interactive props and the animatronics scattered throughout the store.
Yeah, he had a lot of fun.
Yeah, he was trying to figure them out, really.
Dia de Muertos in New York City is presented by Mano a Mano, the Mexican culture without borders, and it's held in the East Yard of St. Mark's Church in the Bowery. It's free to attend, and you can remember your departed loved ones by bringing copies of photographs to be part of their ofrenda, the altar, and honor them throughout the celebration with live music, Mexican folk art exhibits, markets, and Mexican food. We had al pastor, which are thinly sliced pieces of marinated pork prepared by cooking on a vertical spit, or trompo, and it was delicious.
Yeah, it was great.
Sugar skulls are edible decorative skulls made by hand, which are used in the Mexican celebration of the Day of the Dead. The skulls are created either for children or as offerings to be placed on altars known as ofrendas. Children who have died, represented by small sugar skulls, are celebrated on November 1st, where the larger skulls represent adults, whose celebration takes place on November 2nd. It's believed that the departed return home to enjoy the offering on the altar. So I got the sugar skull, and I got a Carlos. Hey guys, we have a special Halloween spooky story to share with you guys.
Besides taking storefront photos, we like to do a lot of urban exploration. This is in a abandoned asylum we had explored, a mental hospital. in the New York area, and we hiked through the woods, and we would visit it a few times. We visited it on 3 or 4 occasions, but this time turned out to be a little weird. We had explored all the hallways, the labs. Everyone has to go see the morgue. You know, we explored the morgue area.
Because that's always haunted.
Yep. We had found a dental clinic that had basically fallen through the rotten floor down to the next story. There's some strange equipment. If anybody knows what this stuff is, let us know. And there's outside recreation areas where patients would be let out into the fresh air. But this is the men's wing. And this is one of the first spots way in the back of the complex. And we had gotten in and we're exploring. And we came down that hallway there, this hallway. And we hit a dead end. The floors had collapsed, the ceiling had collapsed. So we peeked into this room. This was one of the day rooms. That floor also was collapsed. So we turned around and we started heading down the opposite hallway, and we realized that had collapsed as well. So
we were trapped.
Yeah, we were basically trapped, except if we were going to go back the way we came. So we kind of were figuring out, adjusting our camera and stuff, and trying to see which way we were going to go. And there was, all of a sudden, both of us heard footsteps coming. Or initially we thought someone was coming down, either security or other explorers or something. We really didn't want to find out, so we just ducked into this bathroom, and we stood there silent for what seemed like, you know, a good amount of time. Let's say
it was a long time.
Yeah, about 10-15 minutes.
And we just kept on hearing the footsteps. It's not like they stopped.
Right, the footsteps. And then when they got close enough, they did stop. And we thought someone was waiting to see if they heard us or they had heard us earlier. And while
we had the dog with us, so we didn't want him to like bark or shake or like...
Yeah, he could sense something was up too, so he stood perfectly still. Eventually, after what seemed like 15-20 minutes, I creeped over to the door as quiet as I can. You see there's a lot of garbage on the floor and everything, and I peeked out into the hallway, and there was no one there.
Yeah.
Not a soul.
So strange.
Yeah, we don't believe in ghosts, and we're not scared to go in any of these buildings, and probably only one other time we had some kind of situation like this, but it creeped us out a little.
It really did.
It was late in the day on a Sunday. The sun had just started going down, and it was super quiet and getting dark. It was kind of this time of year, right around Halloween, and yeah, it's a little weird.
To this day, we don't know what it was. Hey guys, what a great day we had in the East Village, highlighting some spooky Halloween spots and also checking out some independent stores that you can get Halloween costumes and decorations that maybe you wouldn't think of ordinarily to go. It was just a fun-filled day. Great day. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed our special Halloween haunted tour, which also highlighted unique small businesses where you can buy Halloween costumes and Day of the Dead offerings. We had so much fun bringing you to all these spots. Please hit the subscribe button and notification bell and give it a thumbs up and share the video if you liked it. You may also enjoy seeing more vintage shops where you can buy costumes on our East Village Vintage Vinyl and Knish tour. Check the link on the screen. And also see more of Abracadabra, the city's huge costume, wig, and magic shop on our Nomad and Flatiron video. We'll be posting new videos weekly.
Boo, guys!
Yeah, boo, guys!